going to prepare today a couple dishes that are the paella from Spain, the national dish of Spain. It started out when the Romans went to Spain and brought irrigation with them. And then in 711, the Moors invaded Spain from Africa. The Moors is another word for the Arabs, okay? And they were in Spain from 711 until they got kicked out in 1492, just before Columbus came here. Actually, a small group stayed until 1600. In 1600, the rest of them got kicked out. So the Moors brought the rice to Spain, and the Romans brought irrigation. And so you have the culture of paella starting because of that. And it was originally a communal dish that the workers did in the field. And the first paellas, they would just have rice, a big dish, rice, a fire. They couldn't even afford chicken. What they used was rabbit and snails and some vegetables that they don't have here. They have a green bean that's real wide that we don't have here. So those were the simplest ones. So when you say, if you go to Spain and you say, I want a paella from Valencia, the Valenciana, they're very specific about what that is. And they get really mad if you want to put things in it that aren't supposed to be in it, okay? Because for them, a Valenciana has rabbit, has these two vegetables, and it has snails. And you can't put shrimp in it, and you can't do anything else to it, or they get really mad because you're messing up their national dish, okay? So you got to be careful with your terminology over there. Of course, over here, Americans are a little bit more picky, you know, these days people don't even like things with bone in it, you know, so even though like if you're doing chicken, for example, it has more flavor if you do a part with bone in it, it doesn't go well here. And rabbit doesn't go that well, and snails, you know, it's hard to find the public for snails, although French restaurants offer it, it's for specific people, yeah? Okay, so that gives you a little bit of a background of the dish. And then you're probably going to ask them, well, but what's the best rice for it, right? Well, the rice that is mostly recommended as the far best is called bomba rice. And I have here a small sack of the rice. And this from Spain, it's very expensive in the US. 2 pounds of it, a kilogram, costs $15. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty expensive. And it's a short, fat rice. And the most distinctive part about it is it absorbs, you know when you're cooking rice normally, you put 2 cups of water for 1 cup of rice? Okay, with this rice, you have to put 3 cups of liquid to 1 cup. So it absorbs, so that's where you get the flavor. It absorbs more of the liquid. And so if you're making a true paella, that's the rice you're supposed to use, bomba rice, okay? Bomba. And the flavor of the paella comes from a flour called saffron. And each flour has only 4 filaments. And I can pass this around for you so you see what it looks like. Okay, each flour has only 4 of those. And the way you get the flavor out is you do an emulsion. You boil water or broth, and you put that inside, and you get this. Okay? It's like making a tea of it, if you like. You can buy it already made, and then you don't have to use the saffron because you already have the liquid saffron. Okay?
Saffron is yellow.
It is.
Oh, it is yellow?
It is. This is concentrated. This is concentrated.
Okay, but it looks red.
But this is what the flour actually looks like.
Okay.
Okay? So, now, to do a paella from scratch, with everything from scratch, takes a long time. You have to dice the onions, you have to dice the peppers, you have to dice whatever you're going to put in it, right? You have to do an emulsion, right? So I can't go, you know, I can't go to people's homes and stay 3 hours. They get bored, you know. As much as they like me, they get bored. So I do a few shortcuts, okay? And I want to talk one more thing, the stock. I spend 2 days making the seafood stock that goes into the paella, because if you put water in the paella, you're not going to have any flavor, okay? It's not white rice. This is not Chinese, you know. We have to use a really good stock, and I make that for 2 days with fish heads. Okay? So you have a really wonderful, if you want to try, I can give you, matter of fact, that's probably a good experience. I don't know, can you share a spoon or should I get more? Who's gonna try?
We're fine. Here, actually, here. I'm fine with sharing, but let's do this. I'm gonna wait.
You're gonna wait?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
You can pour it.
Put it here?
Yeah, and then I'll hook everybody up with this.
Okay. She's got all the tools, I must say that. Every time I'm gonna do something, she comes up with the right tool.
You just told me you think you go.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you're 1 second behind me.
By tasting that, you're gonna see where the flavor of the paella is gonna come from. It's that reduced stock that I made that has saffron in it, and it does have garlic and onion, and shrimp and fish. So if you make a good stock, you can't hardly mess up the paella. That's the flavor. And if you don't make a good stock, you can't fix it. It's gonna be bad.
This is fish stock?
Fish stock, fish and shrimp stock.
I'm a smeller, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yum.
That's very nice. Very good.
Great. I'm so glad you spent 2 days doing that.
Well, I make huge batches, okay? But yes, but yeah.
That's really good.
Very good.
You think you know what fish? It's not really fishy.
Or no, I don't know.
No, it's a subtle. It has to be subtle.
It's very well done. Very nice. Yeah. We love it.
All right. So,
Chase it with my whiskey. Thank you.
and I'm also gonna make. I have here. I already cut up the romaine lettuce to make a Caesar salad, and I'm gonna make a Caesar salad from scratch. Meaning the dressing is going to be from scratch. It's going to be the real one, not the one you get in restaurants, okay? Because to make the real one, you have to use raw egg yolks and anchovies. And in the restaurants, they're afraid of serving the raw egg yolks. But I'm going to do with the real eggs, with the egg yolks here, and I'll show you how to do it. And you see the taste is like totally different, way better, okay? So, all right, first, I have the stock going. I'm going to put some clams and some mussels in the stock to get them to open up. We're going to use them later. But I want to add to the stock the flavor of the mussels and the clams. Which not only do they give a lot of flavor, but they're also great for decoration. Now, if you go to the beach, you know, and you get your own mussels and clams, you know, they come with a beard on them. You have to clean them. Yeah, and they come clean, which is great. Because, you know, in the beach, they have a beard on them. They're hard to clean. You have to take that beard off. And then you have to cook them. And they have to open. If they don't open, you don't eat them. Because if they don't open, it means they were already dead when you cooked them. And so they're bad. They could be bad. You could get poisoned, right? So, but when they're open, you know they were alive when you cooked them. So then they're good. Okay? So you never go and open one up and eat it. No. If it's closed, leave it alone. Bury it. Okay? All right.
I'm like thinking back. I'm like, I think I'd need I'm one of those like fried up. Yeah.
All right. Now, originally I was going to make a seafood paella, a normal seafood paella. But I got a request for some sausage. So, when you're cooking a paella, the ingredients that you do first are the ones that take the longer to cook. Like if you're doing some kind of meat, you put that first. So it cooks more than the other ingredients and it becomes more tender, right? So, but what I'm going to do first is, because I'm going to let you try some of this shrimp. I'm going to talk about this shrimp and I'm going to let you try it. Of course, I'm using extra virgin good olive oil here for everything. You got farm-raised shrimp that you don't know what they ate, and you don't know what's in them, and they don't have a lot of flavor. These shrimp here are from the Gulf, and they're big. They're 10, 15s. That means there's like 10 to 15 per pound. So they're big shrimp. This is after I cleaned and took the head out. And you know, I don't know if you've ever seen, I deveined it by hand, okay? So because people say, oh, it's a deveining, it's a vein, right? It's not a vein, that's the intestine, okay? That's what I took out. So if you don't clean it, that's what you're eating, you know? And on the big ones, it's pretty big. So I want my shrimp to be really clean and with pure flavor, you know, for everybody. And so these I use for decoration on top of the paella, the really big ones, okay? I have others that are a little bit smaller. They're also good shrimp. They're also very flavorful. But they go inside the paella, okay? These are really pretty. I cook them first because it gives shrimp flavor to the pan. And then I take them out and save them until the paella is almost ready, and then I put them on top. And you're going to see how I decorate it, okay? And I also do an appetizer that's to die for with these shrimp. Which I'm not doing it today, but I brought some extra shrimp, just enough for you girls to try the shrimp. We won't tell them. And there's a shrimp that I do. It's a garlic saffron butter sauce. And there's never one left. I've never seen one left over. It doesn't matter how many I made. I made like 400 for a wedding, and they like disappeared. They just went poof. Even all the empanadas went. I make fresh empanadas too. Yeah, I do 5 kinds of empanadas. I do beef, chicken, shrimp, vegetarian. I'm forgetting one. Huh? Beef? Yeah. Argentinian style or Chilean style, Brazilian, they're all the same. Beef, chicken, shrimp, vegetarian, and cheese. Goya makes a pretty good spice called Sazon Goya. And this one has saffron in it. So I use a little bit, especially on the shrimp. That way I don't have to watch the salt. I don't put any salt or pepper or anything. I do on the stock. I make sure the stock is just right, and then I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, you want the shrimp to be cooked, but you don't want them to be overcooked. It's not good. Let me know what you think. 246, right? Yeah. Okay. We're good. Now, those don't have the garlic butter sauce on them, okay? But you can still see the flavor of the shrimp. Okay, we gave a little color to the sausage. Now I'm going to put some onions.
Damn, I'm gonna need breath What kind of sausage? Andouille or what kind of?
I got a nice smoked sausage that is already cooked, but it's smoked cooked. Not too strong. I think it's going to complement well with the, because you don't want the sausage to overpower the seafood. The thing about a paella is it's a very complicated flavor. It's kind of like a woman, okay? It has, like, you have to tell the ingredients separately. Like the shrimp's supposed to taste like shrimp, the fish supposed to taste like fish, the sauce is supposed tastes like sausage. And yet, when you eat the paella, you also have that common taste of everything together. But you can't let anything take over the other thing. It's kind of like layers of flavor on top of each other. Yeah? So it's a tricky combination. Okay, so you see here, I've added some shrimp, okay? Those are a little bit smaller ones. And
you pulled the vegetables off to the side and you're cooking that in the middle.
the shrimp in the middle.
That's hot, or I guess in the middle and the other is.
Right, the heat is right there. So we put everything on standby. She's paying attention. Okay, so you want to sort of sear everything, make sure you get the good flavor. Okay, look at the mussels and the clams. They're opened already. So what I do here, I lower the heat and I will take them, park them over here so they don't overcook. Yes. So I added more flavor. I added more flavor to the soup with the shellfish. Yeah, I'm gonna decorate. I'm gonna put them in the rice. This one is swai. You can put whatever. You can put whatever you like, but I don't want to put anything that's going to overpower. Like I wouldn't put swordfish or something like that. The flavor is kind of a mild flavor, sort of like tilapia. That's from the sea. Tilapia is farm raised, yeah. Okay, here I have squid. Gives it a lot of flavor. While that is cooking, I'm going to start on the dressing. Okay, I have 6 anchovies. You know, people say anchovies, but I said, did you know, for example, that English Worcestershire sauce, the flavor is anchovies. That's the base. So, I mean, you don't know what's behind it, you know, you have to kind of, okay, 2 lemons squeezed. Yeah, when they're fresh, you don't have to. Okay, just the yolk. Okay, so we got anchovies, we got 2 lemons, and 2 egg yolks. Now we need some garlic. This garlic, we put a generous amount. I use Creole mustard. That should be good. Now, I'm going to go there right now. This is canola oil. I like to use sunflower oil. You can use olive oil. I found that most Americans, if I use just olive oil, they find it too strong. Because I have the really good olive oil. And it's like a really strong flavor, you know? So that for them it's like just way too much. So what I do is I put a little bit of the canola oil and then I add some olive oil to it. Because you want the flavor, but you don't want it like super strong. And we can adjust, okay? We can adjust. And we're gonna make like a mayonnaise out of this. And then we're going to add first the Parmesan cheese. We just made a mayonnaise. Not yet. I'm going to do that. When you mix oil with the water, you make an emulsion that turns white. It's mayonnaise. It's what we did. We made mayonnaise with some anchovies and lemon in it. That's mayonnaise is oil, lemon, and water.
Hey, ladies, y'all get together. You didn't pop the loogie, did you? Because I feel like I'm.
This is Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And for this purpose, it doesn't have to be super duper Reggiano. I have some of the good stuff to put in the top of the salad, but for the sauce, just regular Parmesan is fine. Tell me what it needs, if it needs anything.
Oh wow, that's good.
It's like a mayonnaise, just, you got it?
Wow,
Yeah, if you want to.
that's pretty good. Well balanced. That's good.
Oh my god. I love it.
No, it's really good.
That's so good.
See, you don't get that. It doesn't jump at you in the restaurant.
No, that's totally, that's real stuff.
They're scared of the egg.
Oh, wow. No.
That is so good. I like your garlic.
That is real stuff.
good.
That's amazing. This one's a little bit above my pay level.
Okay, now this is the only good way to do this. I know people look at me like I'm crazy sometimes, but I wash my hands.
Oh, you don't know her. We look at her crazy all the time.
Sometimes you just have to get dirty. You can't have fun in the sandbox without getting dirty. I don't know if you want to eat, like the Americans eat the salad before, the Hispanics eat the salad with the paella, and the French, they eat the salad after the paella.
This is the best day ever.
Oops. Life is good.
Maybe out of a can.
Okay, the salad is ready, so if you want to eat it, you're good. Or if you want to wait, that's fine. It's the first time I'm putting the stock in, yes. All the seafood is basically in there. I'm going to add some clams. I added some stock, and I added some minced clams. Just the meat of the clams without the shell. So that it came canned, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Okay,
Now I'm gonna add some peas. Peas.
Are they fresh or?
No, they're cooked. They're canned, but they're the early ones. You want the petit pois. Petit pois. Early peas. Early peas.
That's why they don't get mushy.
They're perfect. I don't have to worry about the consistency or anything. They come perfectly cooked. I just add it so it's tradition, and you have some vegetables.
Last thing you add?
Before the rice, I add that, and I add olives. Now, olives on seafood paella, it's optional, okay? In Spain, they say that the olives are too strong and take away from the flavor of the seafood, but I find that it goes well, at least if you don't overdo it.
Black or green?
I got a little bit of both.
Oh, yeah.
But it's tricky. You got to remember that that rice is going to get really fat and it absorbs a lot of water, a lot of liquid. So it's not like the other rices. Like you used to putting 2 cups into the rice. This one would have to be 3 cups. Yeah.
So you're gonna add the rice to that?
Yeah, I will. I will in a minute. I'm going to mix it. It's going to go into the little crannies of all these things that are here. This is 4 cups, but not the measuring cups. They're like coffee cups.
Everything in there.
Remember, this is a communal dish. They used to cook it in the countryside, and everybody ate it with a spoon from the same pot. I'm not going to cover it.
So where do we get a big ass skillet like that?
This one you can buy at Academy. They have it. There's some bigger one. I got one that's double this that I use. I buy that online. This is the other thing. They have paella pans, which are thin, okay? They're called paelleras. They have 2 handles.
Oh, yes.
They're trickier because they're thin. These are the ones they used to use in the old days, the cast iron, the thick, and about half the people, the chefs still use these. It's a lot more forgiving.
You have to really keep turning it so it doesn't burn.
No, you gotta be careful not to burn it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Not to mess with the rice too much, okay?
Just make sure it's covered or smothered.
Keep it with the broth. Keep adding broth to it. And we'll taste it. Let it do its thing.
Well, as long as your man ain't doing nothing wrong. What is that?
She's high on life. This is a roasted pepper. And I use it for decoration purposes. I'm going to cut it into strips. And then I'm going to decorate the paella with it. Okay. Okay, now this is everybody's taste, you know. You'll be okay.
Make way for sweet lake flowers, and then come
Try it. Let me know what you think.
That's not right. Good choice on the sausage.
Yeah.
That's
He
good.
gave it a good contract.
I told my sister-in-law, this is how you got a young woman, right here.
Well, I must admit, I did her invited to my house and cook
There you
her.
go.
Hey,